Welcome. I'm Krista Gibson with NewSpiritJournal.com, and this is our video series called Keeping It Real. And today we are visiting with EagleSong Gardener in her 8-part series called Herbs for Health. And today she's going to be talking about the herb linden. And you can see all the other videos. You don't have to watch them in order. Each one is standalone. So if you're interested in a particular herb, just go to that week's video and watch it and learn. So let's go. I don't know much about linden. I don't know about you and how much you might know about it. So let's go on over to EagleSong's place and let's find out. So I visited with EagleSong about linden, and we had some Skype issues. So I just want to warn you ahead of time that there are a few places where Skype freezes up on us, and we made the decision to just leave it the way it is. So just be patient when that happens, and then we continue on. We thought, well, we tried re-recording them. The issues are just there. So anyway, just know that if it freezes up, we will return very shortly. Thank you for your patience. Hello, everybody. I made it over to EagleSong's place, and we're going to talk about linden. Hi, EagleSong.
Hey, good morning, Chris. It's a beautiful sunny morning here today.
Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I'm anxious to learn about linden. I don't know anything about it.
Well, linden is not an easy one for me to bring into our conversation because linden is a very large tree. And I mean, really big tree. Uh-huh. And so we're going to talk about the tree first. It's a European herb. Well, different kinds of linden, again, travel around this latitude on the globe. And so it's pretty much used in every place it grows. In Europe, there's Tilia. Tilia is the botanical name for the genus for the tree. So Tilia europa, Tilia cordata. There's a Tilia in America that's called basswood. So this is a tree that has put itself around the planet and is a beautiful tree and has a lot of folklore and history with it in Europe. Okay. So the Tilia is considered the Tea de Europa. It's the tea of Europe. In people's lives and history, that they actually would close all the shops in France. Every business would close when the Tilia bloomed because you only get 3 days. And all the people would go out into the countryside or even in the cities, and they would pick Tilia flower. So it's the flower and the calyx of the plant that we use. And I can bring that to our conversation. So here is what it looks like, the part that we harvest to see if I can give you a good shot of that flower. The little bit on top of the flower. And then this part here is the calyx for the flower. It's what holds the flower. Okay. And so this is the part that we use, and this is the part that people would go out to harvest. And in Paris, where I've been, there are lines on it's the best street tree in Paris. Also in England, we'll see it oftentimes. Alleys of Tilia that people stroll through and that border really important roads, main roads. These Tilia are just fascinating. And so it's considered a tree that really cools. It doesn't just cool the body when we take it as a tea, which it does very well by opening the surface. It allows the internal heat to release through the surface. And it's safe for children, elders. It's a very good tea for everybody. And so the cooling aspect also is what makes it a dynamic street tree in big cities because it helps to cool the city and it helps to clear the air. So this is the way that we know that Tilia is going to be good for our lungs as well. It's reciprocity with plants, especially trees, where they exhale the oxygen that we need to breathe. We exhale carbon dioxide, which is what they use to work. You know, their survival depends on carbon dioxide, not necessarily from people, but they still need it to do their process. So we have this amazingly beautiful give and take back and forth. Even I would call it symbiosis. It's more than reciprocity. It's really living together in a symbiotic world that we recognize the place trees have. So it's a tree that also is very easily pollarded and cut, which is why it can be used in the city, because at about 20, 30 feet, they can cut the limbs off. This is a tree that gets 300 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
Large tree.
Yeah.
And flowers are well loved by the honeybees. And all of the candles in medieval churches were made from beeswax that was harvested from bees that were using the tilia, the linden flower. Linden is the common name, or lime flower is another common name for it. So those bees were working just as hard as the people to enjoy those flowers.
Yeah, nice.
So they cut those trees at 30 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, and then the trees...
Yep, you froze up on us. Waiting to come back. So Skype has frozen up on us. Is it going to come back now? Making beeping sounds. Oop.
It's a tree that's
so there you go.
Willing to work with people.
Okay, good. You were gone for quite a while, so.
You froze, I froze.
Yep. Okay.
It worked perfect.
Off you go. All right.
All right. So the tree is actually, it seems to me, a tree that is very accommodating to people, to human, likes to be with people, likes to be in the city, likes to be in the countryside. So we get this beautiful, dynamic tree that has been cherished for years. In Germany, the court in certain towns was held under the linden tree because it was believed that you could not tell a lie under a linden tree. So people came together. So this is a plant, I think, that's very good for our times right now. And so how do we use the linden? We take the flowers and we make our infusion. We have actually a little different. This time we put a ½ ounce of the flowers into our quart jar and then pour the water on. Let it steep overnight. I don't know if you can see this in the, but the beautiful, you can see the little flower.
Yeah.
Infusion. This is actually the infusion. And so it would be strained in our very simple high-tech kitchen equipment. And this is a really incredibly delicious, honey sweet kind of tasting tea. It's a tea that it's very easy to get people to use and enjoy. So I like to be able to see my infusion when I'm drinking it. Anti-inflammatory. This tea cools the body by opening the surface, but also by soothing. It's mucilaginous. It has a very slippery, slimy quality about it. And so, so the tea is, I mean, it's so refreshing. And, you know, in wine where there's that little mouth feel, we tip the glass and they say there's legs because the sticks to the glass. The mucilage in the tilia or linden does the same thing. So it has this very, very soft mouth feel.
Yeah, it's another really pretty tea.
Lovely color, golden color that truly has a real taste of honey.
Nice.
No sweetness is needed at all. It's a tea that is just a refreshing beverage. Some people say it's too sweet. Some people I say, no, they think maybe too floral, but I really enjoy this. I can drink a quart of this hands down easy in a day. And right now they're starting to really understand that inflammation is the major cause of disease in our body.
Right.
And so anything we can take on a regular basis that moistens, soothes, reduces inflammation, to me as an ally, you want to have on board.
Definitely.
So tilia, linden, is a common street tree, even in America. Almost every city in America has a linden avenue. And Seattle, Linden Avenue, there are a lot of linden trees planted on it.
Right.
So this is a really accessible plant that people can get wherever, really pretty much wherever you live.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about different herb access to how do you buy herbs online if you don't have a garden or you don't really feel comfortable picking your street tree flowers.
Right.
But the truth is, we have a park. We have 3 parks in our town that have linden trees in them. So it's also a great park tree.
Mm.
And I've been picking the linden in one park for about 15 years. And I started picking with my feet on the ground, the flowers. And I always go like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
because the harvest season is mid-June to early July, right in there, depending on the weather when the flowers are going to bloom.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go to the park early in the morning and I would just pick what I needed. And so I come home with 3 or 4 grocery bags, and every year the most interesting people show up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I'll bet, yes.
And shows up almost every year and talks to me. It's like, oh, you come here she says, oh, I see you're out picking the flowers again. And we have our conversation. Sometimes the parks department people come by, and nobody has ever questioned me or stopped me.
Right.
The only problem is that they've been lifting the lower to the tree, so they call raising the canopy.
Right.
And now I can't reach them. First I went with a step stool, then a 6-foot ladder, then an 8-foot ladder.
Oh no.
Now they're too high. I cannot get to them.
Darn.
And so I go hunting around town for other linden trees. And lo and behold, I found another park with linden that I could reach. And I found a woman who had 2 linden trees in her front yard. And I knocked on her door and I said, I'm an herbalist, and I really would love to pick some of the flowers on your tree. And she was so excited. She was really happy that somebody loved the flowers as much as she did. And she didn't know how to make tea.
Right.
So we have this amazing way to interact with people. The plants call us forth.
Right. Right.
And it's just, I've never had anyone say I can't pick their dandelions.
Right.
I've never had anyone turn me away when I come and ask if I can pick the nettle. So a lot of times when you think you don't have a garden and you don't have access, it's really just the barrier of not being able to knock on someone's door and say, hey, I'm your neighbor, and I was wondering if you would mind. And really, truly, when you want something that everybody... What a...
So you were saying when you want something that other people have?
No, you want something that other people don't want.
There you go.
They don't want dandelions in their garden. They don't, So they are more than obliged to help you out.
Right.
And so we get confused about desiring things that everybody wants. That's popularity. But when you actually take the side road or the slow road, and you realize the things in life that might bring you the most pleasure, that might bring you what you really want in life, aren't on the popular.
Right. Yeah. They aren't what everybody else is wanting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes to me, it's like an adventure every day with the plants.
Mm-hmm.
Who will I meet? What will I learn about the plants? What will I learn about myself?
Right.
In the engagement of herbs as a way of life, not as only a treatment for disease.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly.
So I would say the plants have expanded my perception of the world I live in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They brought me to places I miss. Mm-hmm. And so this is a part of looking at herbs as a way of life rather than herbs as a treatment for disease. We're a very small window of that.
Right.
We expand the window, we really begin to understand that you can't really know how a plant's going to work in your body, because science is only good enough to see the big constituents.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what we're looking at now, and what science is beginning to understand, is that there is so much more going on in a plant than we had ever realized. And we're beginning to see that about ourselves as well, that there is so much more going on within us that we had never realized. And we are coming to a time in our world that information is going to be super important.
Exactly.
And how we make connections in our society, within ourselves, are really, really important. And what better ally to go to than the plants who have been here way longer than people.
Right.
Some people in traditional cultures believe that the plants and animals are our ancestors, they're our mothers and fathers, and that they got the world ready for us. Where there's that other way of thinking that we're the apex of everything.
Right, yeah.
I like better. It's like it puts me into a position of really being able to go out into nature and ask my grandparents what it is that they have for me. What can I learn today that's going to be really helpful to help my world, help myself to grow, to be a better person.
That's a lovely way, much nicer way of looking at things.
Well, there's a place for the apex. There's certainly a place for it all.
Right.
And I think this is the thing that we're coming to now is the beauty is in the diversity.
Right.
And the beauty is in the simplicity. All the plants that we're talking about in herbs for health they're easy to prepare. They're easy to bring into your diet on an everyday basis.
Right.
Don't wait for sickness.
Right.
When you treat yourself well,
right.
You take these plants every day into your world, into your life.
Right.
There's a really good chance you won't know the sickness.
Exactly.
And so here, Tilia, linden flower infusion, linden flower. Again, you can use it topically. You could take the plant that got strained out and mash it up and use it as inflamed or hot.
Can use it as a
All
what?
right,
I
so
missed
it's
that.
a little poultice.
Okay, you made a poultice.
Yes, it's a little.
Okay.
By taking the plant material and actually really squeezing it, I like this because it's a very messy, fun. But you start to get the slippery, slimy. You can put it on your skin, and it's emollient, so it softens the skin, soothes the skin, so it can be used internally and externally.
Oh, good.
And it's a wonderful. You can make a salve. You can make a tincture with it. Very simple. I've never made an herb vinegar with linden, but there's no reason that it couldn't be done. I just haven't thought of it yet. So now that I have, I'll probably do that the same.
There you go.
So these plants really enrich our life experience. I think that's the part about herbs I love the most is that they've really pulled me out of this small world I grew up in and opened this big world for me to reach out, to access, to learn more, and to grow into the person that I really want to be.
Right. That's wonderful. Well, and I always tell people if they want to know more about herbs and about the different classes and offerings you have, they can go to EagleSongGardener.com, and I've put that, it has a hyphen on there.
Yes.
We like EagleSong-Gardener.com, and I have it on the screen. And then I've also we've also added at our website a list of places where people can get herbs through mail order, and one of them is through you. So they can go. I'm not going to try to put all those on the screen. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for educating us about linden. And look forward to talking to you again next week.
We'll see you then.
Okay. Bye.